The royal train is one of the royal family's most well-known methods of transport. For decades it has been used by members of the firm to travel across the country. It was understood to be the late Queen Elizabeth II's preferred mode of transport, having made numerous journeys on the 9-carriage train. However, perhaps lesser known is that the train is also where one of the royal family's most salacious sex scandals supposedly took place. In November 1980, it was reported that a 31-year-old Prince Charles had enjoyed two nighttime rendezvous in the English countryside with his then-girlfriend Lady Diana Spencer. With the headline "Love in the Sightings," the Sunday Mirror claimed the train had been parked overnight in the area with Charles aboard and a blonde woman, presumed to be Diana, had driven from London to accompany him for a few hours. The clear suggestion being that they had slept together. According to the story, while the royal was busy undertaking official duties in Wiltshire, his then 19-year-old love interest was smuggled on board. And there followed hours alone together for the couple whose friendship has captured the country's imagination. However, years later, an ominous Christmas card suggested the report had not been entirely accurate. While the mysterious blonde was presumed to be the prince's then-girlfriend, another theory indicates it was in fact his longtime lover. Penny Junor, author of The Duchess, The Untold Story, recounted the publication of the report, claiming Diana had denied the late-night meeting, but Robert Edwards, editor at the Sunday Mirror at the time, was so convinced the story was accurate that he published it anyway. Camilla, behind Kate and William's split after deeming her not worthy, claims the Queen consort allegedly pushed her husband into intervening in his son's relationship with Kate Middleton. In 2007, Kate, Princess of Wales, and Prince William's relatively low-key romance was thrust into the spotlight following their high-profile split. What role did the Queen consort allegedly play? Find out here. In her book, she wrote that Mr. Edwards was shocked by the unprecedented reaction from the palace. Michael Shea, Queen Elizabeth II's press secretary, called the story a total fabrication, demanding the paper retract it. Despite the palace's pushback over the report, the Mirror's editor refused to publish an apology, claiming the source for the story was a policeman who had been part of the security team on the royal train. The reaction gave rise to speculation that his girlfriend must be special, and just 8 days after the story hit the press, Charles asked Diana to marry him. However, when Mr. Edwards received a Christmas card from Woodrow Wyatt, the maverick politician and writer who is a close friend of the Queen Mother and knew the entire family, his perception of that scandalous night changed. In the card, Mr. Wyatt reportedly wrote, "It must have been Camilla." On the night in question, the royal train was just 30 kilometers away from Camilla Parker Bowles' country home. According to the Mirror report, Diana left her late-night meet-up with Charles to go to Camilla's home. At the time, the teenager believed that her future husband simply shared a friendship with the blonde mother of two. Ms. Junor claimed Diana had told Mr. Wyatt that it was her husband's lover who had been on the train that night, when she was angry with Camilla years later. However, she continued, at the time of the incident, Camilla had never been on the royal train, and if someone had attempted to smuggle her on in the middle of the night, the train was guarded by so many British transport policemen that someone would have leaked the story long ago. The author conceded that it's a story no one has ever got to the bottom of. Similarly, Dina Brown, author of the Diana Chronicles, does not believe the Camilla theory. "For a number of reasons I have become convinced it was indeed Diana on the royal train," she wrote in her book. If it was Camilla, why didn't Diana include the incident in her remorseless narrative of marital torture and betrayal in any of her confessional gut-spilling for Andrew Morton or Martin Bashir? Her later discovery, before the wedding, that Charles was planning to give Camilla a bracelet, became an operatic incident in her long list of unforgivable hurts. It seems clear now that Diana, for reasons of panicked self-protection, colluded with the palace machine to protect the anachronistic facade of virginity right up to the altar. Ms. Brown made the point that the policeman, who was the alleged source, was unlikely to have confused the light-voiced 19-year-old girl of unusual height with a squat woman in her 30s who spoke in a distinctive baritone. Diana herself later denied the whole episode, telling the Daily Mail the same month, "I was so shocked. I simply couldn't believe it. I've never been anywhere near the train, let alone in the middle of the night. Even though they rang me up first, they printed it anyway. Afterwards, they rang up to apologize, but that doesn't change people's minds about what they think when they read a story like that." Later, she told famed royal reporter James Whittaker that on the night in question she had some supper and watched television before going to bed early. "I had been at Princess Margaret's party at the Ritz the night before and I was feeling very frail and hungover," she insisted. As it is known now, Charles and Diana got married less than a year later in July 1981. The future of the monarchy largely depends on their eldest son Prince William and his wife Kate, Princess of Wales, particularly since the exit of their second son Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle. Charles' affair with Camilla was confirmed later in the Wales relationship, but it remains uncertain who accompanied Britain's bachelor prince on the royal train that night. The Duchess, The Untold Story was written by Penny Junor and published by HarperCollins Publishers in 2018. It is available here. The Diana Chronicles was written by Tina Brown and published by Cornerstone in 2007. It is available here.